Man was not born a sinner. Don't miss this. No human being is born a sinner. You see, these people they call New Age, and these people they call Universalist. This is where they use in dealing with you people who call yourselves Pentecostal charismatics, because of this theology that everybody is born a sinner. So the question any critical thinker would think is, I didn't sin. Adam sinned. I was born a sinner because of Adam's sin. Why do I have to believe in Jesus to be righteous? Since I didn't sin, it was put on me by Adam. If Jesus died for all, I should automatically be righteous without believing the gospel. How do you argue that out? Because that's not Bible teaching. That's nonsense. If you people claim that the sin of Adam is my sin, then the death of Christ should be my death. Or is Adam more powerful than Jesus? I wasn't there when Adam sinned. I was not born when Adam sinned. Me and Adam didn't come from the same village. When Adam sinned, there was no any idea that my grandfather would be born. Then now I am born, and as soon as I am born, you say what Adam did has come on my head. How? If that happens, then God is not just. If that happens, then God must be wicked. If that happens, then God is not fair.
Here are some scriptures I have selected to prove that every man born of a woman is a sinner. For it is a doctrine by itself. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, God made Adam in his own image, after his likeness. That is to say, Adam was perfect. In Genesis chapter 3 verse 6, Adam disobeyed God by eating the forbidden fruit, and that was how he fell and became corrupted. And Genesis chapter 5 verse 3, Bible says, and I quote, and Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness and after his image, and called his name Seth. End of quote. Here is Adam that was made in God's image and likeness, but when he sinned against God and lost his perfection, Bible says in the above scriptures that he begat a son in his own likeness and after his image. That means his son bear his likeness and image. That is sinful image, corrupt and defiled, frail, mortal and miserable, like Adam himself. Not only a man like him, consisting of body and soul, but a sinner like himself, guilty, obnoxious, degenerated and corrupt. Even a man after God's own heart, own himself conceived and born in sin, according to Psalm 51 verse 5, which says, behold, I was sharpened in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. David in the above scriptures was conceived in sin and born in the same. This really proved that grace does not run in the blood of a sinner, but corruption does. That means a sinner begat a sinner, but a saint does not begat a saint. That is how we are born into this world, as sinners from our mother's womb. Adam was our sole representative and our fountainhead, and we are his descendants and partakers of his sin and its consequences. When he sinned, he did not act as a single person, but as the whole race of humanity. When he fell, he sinned for all. When God contracted with him, it was a contract for the whole race. Cain was born in Adam's image and his likeness, for he inherited a sinful nature from him, and as a sinner he killed his brother Abel. Genesis chapter 4 verse 8 to 16. Lamech in Genesis chapter 4 verse 23 also killed a man who got him wounded. That was so because he was born a sinner, one who possessed sinful nature from his mother's womb. Again in Psalm 58 verse 3, Bible says, and I quote, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Can you hear that? Nobody has ever taught his children how to say a lie, fight or quarrel, to steal and fornicate, etc. All these things materialize from within as they grow into adult, as recorded in Matthew chapter 15 verse 19 and 20. And it says, "For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thieves, foul weakness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man." Isaiah 48 verse 8 also confirmed that man is born a sinner from his mother's womb. And I quote, "Yea, thou heardest not, yea, thou knewest not, yea, from that time that thine ear was not open. For I knew that thou wouldest deal very treacherously, and was called a transgressor from the womb." Now you can see, man is a transgressor from the womb, from his mother's womb. We are sinners from birth. We are born as sinners. Yes, because we inherited sinful nature from our parents. That is what made us a sinner. A sinner from his mother's womb is unclean. Job acknowledged his fault, his sinfulness, and depravity from birth. As king, how could it be otherwise? Coming from a race of this type. Job 14 verse 4 says, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one." Nobody can bring a clean thing out of unclean. Man is unclean by birth. Again, Job chapter 25 verse 4 says, "How then can man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman?" Man that is born of a woman is unclean. That is sinful. Inherited sin, sin in the blood. It's not clean before God. So man is born a sinner from his mother's womb. Man born of a woman is not pure from his mother's womb, but he is unclean. What is man that he could be pure, and he who is born of a woman that he could be righteous? No sinner born by a woman is righteous. Man born of a woman is dead in sins and trespasses because of Adam's disobedience. Romans chapter 5 verse 12 and verse 19. I read, "Wherefore as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned." Death passed upon all of us, right in our mother's womb, and be born with it. "For by one man's disobedience, many were made sinners. So by the obedience of one, which is Jesus, shall many be made righteous." By Adam's disobedience, all of us became sinners. Meaning man inherited sin from Adam. Likewise, by confessing and repenting from your sins, the Lord will forgive you and declare you righteous. That is only when you can say you are born of God from Adamic nature and now possessing the nature of Christ. So therefore, every man born of a woman is a sinner. And hand joined with hand, a sinner will never go unpunished except he is born again. God bless you, and thank you for watching.